good, everybody? It's your favorite gentleman, J. Rashad, and today we have an interesting drink and some interesting guests. Now, of course, once again, we have...
Oh, no sponsorship.
No, go ahead. Put it on there. We're going to tag him anyway. Go ahead.
There we go. Hey, pay us, please. I like it.
Of course, y'all know KJ from previous episodes.
How y'all doing?
And we have Miss Kryssy back with us again. This time, y'all can see her face.
Hey.
And so, I noticed a lot of things been coming up. And a lot of them are geared towards people actually going to therapy, and a lot of people getting stuff off of social media, stuff like that, right? So, I want to ask y'all, is it easy to spot the difference between somebody who's been to real therapy and somebody who just get stuff off of social media?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Hell yeah. When you're, obviously, I'll, go to the expert here in a minute. But I'll say this. If you haven't been to therapy and, how do I want to put it? If you aren't honoring therapy, right?
That part.
It might be hard for you to spot. But when you honor therapy and do your job in therapy and do what you're supposed to do, you can see the people who like watch reels and repeat stuff so that they can sound like they've been to therapy. But at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. Like, I can tell by your actions. I can tell by how you're still emotionally unregulated and all this other stuff that you either don't go, or when you go, you're not treating it properly. So what's the point? You're actually doing more. Yeah, not at all. You clearly can't be. And so you're doing more harm than good being out here and telling people you are. So
you just going for brownie points.
Right.
That's tragic.
It's those people who are perpetually in the gym but never look fitter. It's like that.
Wait. It's funny you say that because I just got sent one of those reels that said, day one, and then it went 9 months later. Is the girl and her friend said, here's to 9 months consecutively in the gym. And one girl, you can see
like took it seriously.
And the other girl looked exactly the same. Like, ain't nothing changed.
That's the one on the treadmill on her book, going at half a mile an hour, reading.
Or the one just there for the selfies.
Yeah. And then, leaves and goes to Chili's. So.
Damn.
What Chili's do? They got some good wings.
Right. Yeah. And I say it every episode.
And yes, I'm saying that as a fat guy. Okay. I used to be fit. I'm going to be fit again. All right. I got injured. Okay.
And I'm going to say it again. That's why we going to get canceled. Right? Every show we cancel for
cancel
a whole
me,
nother
KJ.
reason. Yeah, because you've been to therapy enough times. You definitely know the difference.
Yeah.
Now, Kryssy, what is your opinion on that?
Expert,
I think you can definitely 100% tell somebody who, I feel like now therapy is trending, like
that part.
Mental health, self-care, it's trendy, right? But I think, when you look at someone and you can tell somebody has invested the effort and put it in the work, that means that they've sat in uncomfortable spaces, they've sat through pain, they've grieved, they've saw themselves in ugly spaces, ugly situations, and they are on the other side of it. The way that they respond to other people is going to be a world of a difference. You know what I'm saying? So I think you can definitely tell. And then I will also say the way that person shows up and the way that they are present for other people who are in that space is also different. You know what I'm saying? So I think counseling and therapy right now is trendy, so people are going because they like to use the lingo as a way to sometimes gaslight you, be manipulative. If they have like ulterior motives, learning a few techniques or tactics or ways to kind of evaluate certain things gives them a leg up or gives them an advantage.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of times, people who are really in it because they want to be better, it's definitely a world of difference.
Big difference. That's what I noticed. I noticed that, like you said, people use the terms in social media or things they got off reels, posts, whatever, even just to fit in.
Bruh.
Like, is fitting in that important? that we're just.
And if fitting in is that important, you're proving that you need therapy.
Exactly.
If you want to fit in and fake like you've been to therapy to fit in,
you
need actual therapy.
Yeah.
Like for real.
You need to actually deep dive and engage in therapy.
Yeah.
You probably need a few therapists.
Yeah.
Don't just show up.
Yeah.
Don't just go for the participation
Yeah,
award.
but you know what? I think the thing that I find disappointing. So I've been in therapy, I want to say since 2009.
Okay.
And I go continuously because I feel like at every phase of my life, things have come up and are different, and each phase of my life commands something new of me. So having the opportunity to constantly be able to check in of where I am with an unbiased party who don't know me and see how somebody else sees me from their eyes as opposed to how I experience myself, I think is in my opinion, I feel like it's a smart thing to do or it's intuitive. But I also feel like people go to therapy and they think, okay, I go to one therapist and that's it. Like going to therapy and choosing a therapist is like shopping for a brand new car or shopping for a home. Like you have to try to find something that's for you, something that fits for you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times people be like, oh, well, I went to therapy and, I went for a year and it didn't really do this or do that. I'm like, well, you have to find somebody that fits for you, that speaks your trauma language. You know what I'm saying? Because even though I started therapy in 2009, I didn't find like my person. And shout out Lauren, I love you to death. Like if you see this, ooh, she like when I tell you like night and day of who I am today, of who I was then, night and day, but that was because I finally found somebody that spoke my trauma language and that was able to help me to connect the behavioral component and the actionable change as opposed to just speaking the words and telling me what these things are. You know what I'm saying? So
she didn't how does that make you feel?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Take a few notes. Right. Oh, well, we're at time. I'll see you next week. You know what I'm saying? So it makes a world of a difference. Like I tell people all the time, like she changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Like when I like on the cusp of like spiraling. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I probably wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for her. You know what I'm saying? So she changed my life. So I think it's so important to find somebody that speaks your trauma language and not give up. So again, I started in 2009. I didn't find her to 2017, but I was determined to make changes in my life that I wasn't going to give up until I found the person that was right for me. Yeah.
And that's good. And then you mentioned that you've been going since 2019. So
2009.
2009. I'm sorry. Right. 2009. But what most people don't realize is that therapy is a continual thing. Like you said, a lot of people go for those first 10 sessions or that first year, and they're like, I'm good. I was like, you ain't even unpacked half of the stuff from your past. We ain't even touched the present yet. You still got issues. You still messed up somewhere.
Yeah.
But if you ain't acknowledging it, how you gonna fix it?
Yeah.
You feel like you good because you done went to a couple sessions.
Yeah.
That's like feeling like you good because you went to one swim practice. You can swim now.
I mean, it's not like we can go to work one day and be like, all right, I'm good for the month now.
I wish. Goals.
But seriously,
goal.
Man, right?
I mean,
maybe if we was in Congress.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Those lawmakers.
But no, like I feel like that speaks to, I don't know, something in the zeitgeist of society right now where people really just don't understand how much time and effort things take. And especially when it comes to the emotional side, the psychological side, right? Because if I broke your ankle, you would understand that I can't just go to the doctor tomorrow and it's healed. You know, I'm going to be in a boot. This is going to take a while. And then after that, after it's healed, I then have to work it out to get it back to a certain point again, right? It's not just about being healed. Then it's about strengthening it so it can work properly. Yep. But we don't understand that in almost anything else, especially when it comes to therapy. So folks are like, I've got this one problem. And even if they go consistently, you think I'm finna get rid of this problem and I'm good. And it's like most of the time that problem was a symptom and not a cause. Right. And you really need to be in there and take your time and do some work.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but I think people think healing is a destination and not a journey, and I think that's where they get lost at. It's like you at a destination, I've arrived, but on a journey, I'm continuing, and I'm still gonna go. And along the way, I may pick up some things that are useful, until I get to a place, where I'm a bit stronger. But I'm gonna forever be on this journey. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I think too, people don't realize how one of the things is that it didn't take you a year to get to the place where you were having the issues. So it's not going to take you a short amount of time to fix. Look, like I said, I started in 2009. I'm not going to say my age, but how old I was at the time, but it took me like X amount of years to learn those negative behaviors. It's going to take time for me to unlearn them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think people, like I've talked to people who've gone to therapy and they were like, oh, I had, this trauma and I just was this way and whatever, but I did EMDR and now I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I don't know.
That's people. Oh, my bad.
That's scratching the surface.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I was about to say. See, those people, and I kind of fell into this trap myself for a while because I got a similar story. Like I started when I was 20, in and out. I didn't find somebody who was, I don't want to say worth the damn.
You didn't find somebody that's worth it. It's okay.
But I found them this year, and I've gotten more accomplished this year than I've gotten accomplished all my years combined in therapy. But the trap I realized I fell into was, say, how do I want to put this? You don't really understand what the end goal should be. So it might be like, this hurts me, right? I don't want this to hurt me anymore. And so where I would get stuck is like step 1 or step 2. Because step 1 or step 2 is like removing myself from this, right? And then thinking about how I move after that. But the whole point is when I'm back in society and things like this happen, I don't want it to affect me. I should know how to spot it. I should know how my boundaries are maintained around it, all of that stuff. But all I'm worried about is I don't want to feel this pain anymore. So where that gets a lot of people is just staying inside or just avoiding stuff. And it's like avoiding the pain doesn't mean you're healthy. Not at all. Yeah. It's like if I broke my pinky toe, right? I could avoid hitting it on the table, but if I don't take the steps to let it get healed and everything, it's still broken.
Yep.
And so because of that, things that shouldn't hurt, things that shouldn't trigger me if I was healed, are triggering me. I never got healed. I learned how to avoid. That's it. And those are two different things. And I feel like a lot of people get stuck there and think they're healed, and it's like, no, you're just avoiding stuff.
Yeah, because you don't know what you can deal with if you completely avoid dealing with it.
Right.
Like, how can you say you healed from something and you ain't been through the test to see how you're gonna
All
react
you did was go from a walking boot to a crutch.
Yep. Yeah. And then people don't like pain. Nobody likes pain, but pain is necessary for growth. Pain is necessary for change. Even when you go to the gym, right? When you working out and you hitting them weights, you experience pain, but it's just your muscles essentially kind of building up the strength in order for you to get stronger. You know what I'm saying? So I think it, to your point, even thinking about, just in terms of healing, right? Like I think, every particular situation that you face, like you were saying, like you don't know unless you've gone through it where you are at that point, right? And things may still come up, and I think that was one of the things that I had to learn, because I was kind of like what you were saying, where it's like, well, I've been in counseling and we went over this and we made a chart and I wrote it down in my journal and I did a video. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I still responding this way? But
Stay out of my notebook.
But it's okay. It's okay to still have those emotional responses. What I learned then at those times is what used to take me 6 months to get over it, then took me 5, then took me 4, then took me 3, then took me 2 months, right? So it was a gradual change, and it wasn't something where people expect it to happen like automatically or happen right away. Like it's a gradual change. It's a gradual thing, that happens,
and
over time,
the bigger the wound, the longer it takes.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
But I feel like you touched on something like real big when you talked about pain, and nobody likes to feel it. But I think the problem is more or less that people just don't understand it. Like, pain is there for context. What is the pain? What type of pain is it? Where is it? And why is it there? Because that's how you can know the difference between ran into something or something stabbed me versus I'm at a gym and I'm working out. Those pains are different. And if you understand where it's coming from and why, you will know how to adjust from it. Some of that, being in the gym and lifting weights, is pain of growth. Because growth takes work and it takes energy and it hurts. It ain't always fun. But other pain, if you don't understand why your hand is burning, you're never going to take it off the stove. And then there's just things you need to understand about it. But everybody's just trying to avoid pain, not understanding that is there to give you so much information. So that you can learn how to move in life. But if all you're doing is trying to avoid it, you can't grow either. So
who do we think has the hardest problem with this? And I'm just bringing this up now because the two of y'all are here and this is going to be fun. Do you think men have the hardest time learning their lessons or women?
To be honest, I think that it is.
the Star of David. That's
I think that I'm be completely honest. I think that it really depends on the person. So I wouldn't even say that a specific gender per se, right? Because I'm a woman, I'm not a man, so I don't know you all's experience as a man, so I can't say what your experience is. But as a woman, I can say that it depends on the person. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's my response, to that. So that's my response.
Well, I grew up in a household of women, so I know women. No, I'm not doing that. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Right.
Damn, Derek Jackson.
Oh, like she didn't just elaborate over here. You know what I'm saying?
You coming up with terms for this stuff?
Right. Then I think I don't think it's a matter of worse. I think it's a matter of different. Right? Like, certain things are just so ingrained in society. So as a man, I've got the weight of how a man is supposed to be. And it takes you such a long time to try to figure out how much of that is BS, how much of that is truth, which bones am I going to spit out, and what am I going to keep, what actually works. Just, it takes so much to get through that, especially when you're living in today's social media society where everybody and their mama, people who ain't never even been around a real man, trying to tell you what a man is supposed to be. So you got to sift through all of that. On the other hand, I think a lot of society plays into a lot of the insecurities of women.
Oh yeah. It's a $1 billion industry to play into the insecurity of
right.
women.
So because of that, they've got to block out that noise to try to accept themselves and then move forward from that.
Well,
so
here's the funny part to that is that men have those same exact emotions, feelings, and insecurities.
Don't give me that. You all right? You touching the conversation?
Hey, well, I mean, we gonna go for it.
Okay.
So the difference is that, and this is just my observation. Ain't no science behind what I'm about to say. Women typically have like support groups, other women. They're more emotionally in tune with themselves. So I feel like women, in that sense,
you finna get me started.
It's easier for them to say, I'm going through this, and voice how they feel, versus men. We put up what?
Wall after wall after wall.
Emotional walls.
And a large part of that is because they tell us that's how we have to be. That's how we're supposed to be. That's what a real man is, and it ain't.
But
and by the time you
see
figure that out, so much damage. I promise you, it is a man anything, almost anywhere you are.
But it is a lot worse with us.
I think it's worse.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's still the same plight.
Yeah, across men across the board.
Plight.
Because I will say I see a lot more emotional expression from Caucasian men, and even not so much Hispanic, but I would say predominantly Caucasian men. There's like this, and that may be tethered to the privilege, that they have of being Caucasian to be able to freely express their emotions. But I feel like I see like and I feel like even in media, if we see movies, we see a Caucasian man crying or expressing something, but you see the black man, he angry and he like shooting everybody and beating on his woman or whatever.
So I'll say it like this. Caucasian men are allowed to express, like if me as a black man, I'm allowed to express 2 emotions, right? Mm-hmm. They're maybe allowed to express 5 emotions. But that still doesn't mean I'm allowed to necessarily come to somebody and be like, hey, I'm hurting and I really need help because I'm drowning with all these different pain and emotions that I have. Mm. They still can't really do that, right? They still can't go to their support. They still don't have this emotional support group behind them. Mm. They just got a little bit more range that they're allowed to express, especially in public, than we're allowed to express. That's it. Yeah. Like beyond that, they're still taught they're supposed to handle everything and not need help and can't show any weakness, and all of that is still the same.
So would you all say that those traits kind of also can sometimes be handed down to single black mothers?
Ooh.
Definitely. I've got 2 stories I want to tell now. If I ain't taking up too much time.
Go for it. So
the first one I want to tell, which is when I really wanted to start like logging out of the bullshit we've been told, is I was DJing for a modeling event, right? And so we're going through one of the run-throughs, and there's this male model there. He's doing his thing, and his son, I want to say he was like maybe 1.5, 2, something like that. He's like barely walking, right? Mm-hmm. His son off somewhere else falls. Mm-hmm. Everybody stops. Gasp. The women start running over there because he starts crying. Oh, it's okay. He stops what he's doing, tells the women to stop, and yells out, "Man up."
To a 1-year-old.
This little boy stopped crying,
get out,
dusted himself off, and walked over there to his father. And he was like, "Yeah, that's right, you're okay." And the room clapped.
Get out.
And I was horrified. I was like, this is where that bullshit starts.
You have no idea
It's
what
a
you just talked
toddler. Thank you.
Yeah.
And the entire room is praising what just happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a toddler.
That's horrible.
He can't cry because he fell. He can't be coddled because he's in pain. As a toddler, and men and women alike in this room are praising what just happened.
Yep.
Horrified.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Praising the... Ooh, I can't even place the word for it, but
praising the toxic masculinity.
That's exactly what it is. Because at that point, you're already teaching him to bottle up his emotions.
But he knew to do that. So he's only 1. So I'm just like, forget the whole developmental phase of him cycling through what emotions are. He's already trained at 1.
He's already conditioned.
Already trained. You need to shut up, stop crying.
Gosh, that's horrible.
And get over it. By the man yelling, "Man up."
He's already
to
conditioned.
A toddler.
He's not gonna realize that emotion until, and I hate to say this.
No. You can say it. I'll even get personal in that. When you're in your 20s, coming up on 30, worse, and you can't even identify what emotion you're feeling.
He's not.
And so sometimes it'll be days, weeks. I gotta break down how a situation went so I can understand, even know, and be able to name what the emotion is.
Sad thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say the sad thing about it is he may not ever come to that point.
And you never know.
And the thing is
and to be honest, this was Little Rock, Arkansas, so I don't think he'll ever get there.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna go there.
They're breeding a sociopath. They're breeding a sociopath.
Well, that goes to what I was gonna say. So when he actually does remotely start to see how he was conditioned, even if he even notices there is a difference, it won't be until his father's dead.
Maybe.
That's when he may, and that's a possibility, he may start to realize there's so many emotions that he bottled up. Or until he show up at high school. One or the other.
Yeah. Or it'll come out as anger, and then he ends up a violent offender.
Man.
Because the majority of the men in the prison system are a part of that genre of repressed emotions who found other ways, and that's why you see a lot of them end up joining gangs and are willing to do the violence to be associated with that because of the feeling of belonging that they get, or the sense of connection that they crave, in being in those particular environments. And there was actually an article that I was reading not too long ago that said men and male boys actually need more physical affection than women.
I just saw that. Crazy.
I saw that
And we're probably,
too.
and not probably, we're definitely more starved than our
Yeah.
counterparts.
Well,
And then I'll even say this: his best case scenario, probably, as he's becoming a young man right now, is he's probably trying to date or dating, involved with somebody, and she's like, "Why don't you talk to me? Why don't you open up? Why don't you share your feelings? Why are you always either mad or sad, and that's it? Like,
That sounds like my ex.
why are you so walled off? Why are you so like?" Because his whole life he's been conditioned, I need to man up, and now you're with this woman who wants some emotional availability from you, and you don't even know what that looks like.
But what's crazy about that to me is so there's this societal expectation for men to be in these positions of leadership and to be in these positions of, cultivating these familial connections and building this family and this legacy. But it's just like, if you think about it, a person who's in a leadership position, they have to know how to nurture. They have to know how to follow. They have to know how to lead. They have to be able to know how to influence. And in order to do that, there has to be a level of emotional connectedness that you have to somebody to be able to do that. So it's like, what qualifiers then do men have to be leaders? You know what I'm saying? Aside from, and this isn't to diminish or discredit the fact that men don't have the capacity to be that. But it's just like, if you,
no.
But the thing is, it's like, if there's this societal push and this shift for these men to take front center stage, but on the back end, they're emotionally starved. They don't know how to express their emotions. They don't know how to regulate their emotions. They don't know how to nurture. They only think, I have to get money to financially provide, but miss out on giving everything else that you need to do in order to cultivate healthy, non-toxic environments for your children and for your family and for your wife. Then what makes them qualified to step into that position?
And see, what's going on is this. What happens is they have, at most, like, again, best case scenario, what you've done is just turn them into a taskmaster, right? That's all I do. I'm a master of giving tasks. You do this task, you do it without question, all right? And we ain't gonna have no problems.
you do it well, and we reward you.
Exactly. That's it. The problem there is, especially with where we are in society now, he's probably not going to figure that out until he's a physiological adult, which is at like 25, if not further than that.
If not higher.
Right. At that point, there is so much failure that is a part of becoming a leader. But at this point, I'm trying to figure out the best way to say it, to keep you from getting canceled and all.
Hey, fuck it. Let's get us canceled. Let it out.
If I'm trying to figure out how to become a leader, right? And I'll say it from the aspect of my years in like ROTC. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to mess up judgment calls, right? Because I still need the room to grow in order to because even if I had all of that, I still need to figure out what my style of leadership is and how to lead and what a good judgment call is and figuring out what type of knowledge I need to obtain to be a better leader and all of that, right? If I'm not in an environment or with a partner that allows me that space to grow, to become a leader, it doesn't matter what my intentions are or what I'm trying to do. I'm not going to make it there. You still have to give me space and handle me in a way that allows me to become a leader. And I feel like that is so missed on a lot of people, because if you're side seat driving the whole time or criticizing everything or doing your own thing, even as I'm trying to make a decision and figure out how that goes so I can get better in the future, it's doing nothing but stunting my growth. I'll never be that leader.
You ain't wrong.
Yeah, but I also think that, before you even get into a space to where there is an additional driver, right? Like, I feel like a person who is endeavoring to step into a position of leadership makes the effort to understand the investments that they're making. Your partner is an investment.
Of course.
The person that's in your life that's going to be on your team is an investment.
Of course.
So it's just like, okay, if I'm a manager and I'm doing a job interview and I'm reviewing your resume to see if you fit the role for this job, especially if I know that this is a position that probably has some layer of growth attached to it. You know what I'm saying? Or if my company has a vision, I have to make sure you fit that vision. And I don't feel like people take the time or the effort to even understand what an investment is, right? Is this person an asset or a liability? And that's why you have a lot of people who end up with liabilities and not assets. And then they're wondering how they not moving. You know what I'm saying? Or they ain't got no motion.
Don't get me started on that.
You know what I'm saying? So, so I think like to like, yeah, there's
a lot of people who think they assets and they are liabilities. And because they don't even know what one is. Yo, don't get me started on that.
No, I feel you 100%. But then that's the burden of proof on that person to be like,
man,
to know the difference, you know what I'm saying, between what that person is. Because you're right. You're not gonna, if this person doesn't contribute to your vision, you're gonna be stuck and y'all gonna be driving to nowhere. Oof. You know what I'm saying?
But even still, like, you talk about that being an investment, and I think I can explain it in a way that hits home for all of us. I feel like we've all been on a job where you've got a brand new manager, right? You've been there for a while. They ain't never been a part of this company. Yeah. They probably fresh out of college. They don't really know much of anything. And it feels like the company gives them a lot of leeway when they're making a whole lot of mistakes. Mm-hmm. And after I've grown up, I've realized what I just talked about. I'm expecting this person to be a leader, and they haven't been one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They need the leeway because I am considering them an investment. Mm-hmm. So I've got to be patient, or I'm just going to mess them up. Yep. In that job atmosphere, and sometimes in our personal lives, we can't get over how much that mistake is affecting me directly, even though a lot of the times that mistake is just affecting you in the moment. Mm-hmm. Like, at the end of the day, it's not something big. But if you would have made a different choice, you probably would have done something differently. I knew this wasn't going to work. Well, they didn't, and they're in management. Mm-hmm. And they might not always be right, but they are always the boss. Yeah. And if you respected it from that standpoint and understood that standpoint, you would understand how you could help them to grow. Exactly. Versus you being angry. But I get being angry when your decisions are affecting me.
Yeah. But that's the whole thing about team, is because, you got this new manager who needs the experience. You have the experience, so what do? You help him with the experience that you know, so he can become a better leader.
That's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, but that's if they want that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that one, yes. Some people don't understand how to be coached from a lower tier. Mm-hmm. And not everybody understands how to coach up. Mm-hmm. because being on both sides of it, and I've made both mistakes on both sides. If I'm below you and you're supposed to be my leader and I feel like I got to coach you, it's going to come with an air of disrespect. The young me, it definitely, because I'm like, you manager, you supposed to know this shit. Why I got to tell you? Yo, dumbass, see, that's why I should be getting paid more than you. You know what I'm saying? And you come from it from that perspective instead of I need to help this person. And because there's money involved, there's power involved, you feel like you shouldn't have to, right? And then from the other side of things, sometimes, and being honest and upfront about younger KJ, especially if I'm younger and I'm in a position of power, well, obviously I'm here because I'm better than you.
And that's a common
Why are you telling me what to do? Obviously, they saw something in me to where maybe I can do it my way.
And that's
so
where the macho kicks in.
Right. So why are you I'm just trying to let you know, shut up and do your job. And then I find out 3 months later, maybe that person was right.
But you're not going to acknowledge that they was right. You're going to learn that lesson and act like they never even said nothing.
I will say most managers do that. Most managers did that. In my life, because that is something that I hated above all else, I would, hey, you was right and I'm sorry and I should have did it this way and it did cause you more work and I don't know what else in your life.
Well, what can we do now going forward in the future?
I've learned. Next time when you see me doing that, I have respect now.
Yeah.
So next time, say something.
But I think a lot of people don't have that level of humility that they can accept.
Well, I would say as a leader, humility goes before anything.
It should.
Because it's like that's the way you build trust. You know what I'm saying? Like
and that's the learning to follow aspect.
And that's how you, and when you have trust, you know, then you can influence. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it should, but you know, when you got people in titles and positions and whatever, you know, it's like the ego is kind of, you know, has to be stroked and
right.
know, so
and that's what's needed on both sides.
Yeah.
If I messed up and I'm a leader, I need to humble myself and come to you and let you know that I messed up and put a plan, put something together so that the next time you bring clear input, I'm more receptive to it. And then the person who that's being brought to needs to also be receptive and humble and be like, I get it, I understand, and let's work through it. And yeah, let's get a plan so that you're still leader, you're you. But if I see something, I can bring it to you in a respectful manner, and I know that you're going to consider it and listen to it. And I think that bit of interpersonal communication is missing so badly.
I agree.
Right now in this culture, because you can fix everything with that.
Yeah, I feel like it transcends work though, and
that's what I'm saying.
You know, goes to again the character of that particular person. You know,
but character is something else that is forged, and sometimes that, because even when I think about my younger years, so I'm military brat, and my parents are pastors, right? Got their own church, so. When I was young, I think I did a lot of things the correct way, but I did it because I was told that's the correct way. It was on me. It wasn't in me. Then I grew up. I went through some fire. I did this and I did that. And then I realized, you know what? At the end of the day, I've got to put my head on that pillow and go to sleep at night. I need to figure out that how I need to move no matter what the world is doing or what people are doing. I need to know how I need to move, and no matter what happens, that's how I'm going to move because it's the right way to move. And then character is forged, and then we get somewhere. But again, that's a part of becoming a leader.
Yeah. Something that most people never even look at.
Yeah.
So let's take it up a level.
Oh.
So, we've acknowledged that we think, you know, women have that easier. Men.
You see how her face scrunched up? I don't think she was like, I don't think we acknowledged that.
I don't think we agree either. But I digress.
That's why I paused a little bit.
I think he set you up for that one.
That's why I paused a little bit. No, but actually, I'm actually about to go a completely different direction with that.
She was like, "Who agreed to what?"
So, do we? I'm trying to figure out how to word this. It gotta be spot on. I kind of want one of those. I see you pouring that up. I kind of want one of those. I'm gonna get one in a second.
All right.
But
Put it out there. We can translate it.
are most people willing to heal and willing to have that humility? Or would they rather do a different action to make themselves feel better?
We live in a world of where things are instant. We get instant gratification all the time. If I'm feeling sad, let me just go pull up my Instagram and find a funny video. Now I'm better, So I think we live in a world where instant gratification is the norm, as opposed to delayed gratification and delaying, whatever the other side of comes from healing, right? I would rather go get a quick fix or go get something that'll make me feel good for the moment, as opposed to actually doing the work to, explore, dig into, know why am I feeling this pain? Why do I even need healing? Why is healing important? And then how do I change? So I think people look for the quick fixes all the time. I mean, that's our culture.
Mm-hmm.
Glad you worded that way.
And I feel like I'm trying to get away from even calling it like delayed gratification. I'm calling it like lasting or real gratification, because that's what it is. Usually when you choose something quick, like you said, you watched the video, woohoo, that video lasted 2 minutes, right? Now you scrolling just to stay out of your head. Now it's 6 hours later and you ain't did shit. And when you wake up in the morning, you're still going to feel like crap.
Yeah, most people last 2 minutes. The same thing. So same type of gratification, right?
Not me. I'm still young. Bro, I done had like 15,000 jokes rolling through my head as we've been sitting here talking, and finally one had to make it out the filter.
But I mean, why not? But
shit, I done forgot where I was going. So I can have something right now, but it's still not gonna last. It's not going to last. So it was just gratification in the moment, right? The only thing I actually delayed was feeling some pain. But I could make a choice to go through the process of actually fixing it. And it's lasting gratification. If I go through this healing process, I ain't got to worry about this no more. And if something breaks it again, I already know what it takes. Mm-hmm. And like you said, what took 6 months takes 5, takes 4, takes 3, takes 2. I think the biggest issue is we're around a bunch of people who don't even know they got to heal. Ain't nothing wrong with me. And because it's such a stigma, go to therapy for what? I mean, therapy talk is cool and all, but go to therapy for what? That's what broken people are. I'm good.
And there's a lot of people like that, sadly.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like you came from a broken home. The pack you travel with is trash, and they make you do trash stuff. You have 0 accomplishments in your life. You think you're not broken?
But not even the fact that people are broken, but people like to judge other people. People who haven't done the work themselves, trying to tell other people
Noah building his ark.
What to do. I don't even understand that. I had a woman jump in my inbox because of something that I posted a little while back, and she said, well, you should just have, first, she tried to get religious on me. You should just have faith in God. And I'm like,
ooh, I love religious art.
And so I'm like, I'm already confused based on her response. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, you just have to heal from this, that, that. She hit me with one of them memes, one of them quotes from social media. And I caught it right away. I'm like, have you ever been to therapy? And she said, no, but I'm like, so you already not qualified.
Thank you.
To even give me the advice that you give me.
Thank you.
How are you trying to give me advice about going to therapy? You ain't been yourself.
Yeah. I love the ones who be like, well, Jesus is the healer and Jesus. But I'm just like, but if you want to go there, the scripture also says in the multitude of counsel, there's wisdom.
Say it.
So it's like, if you are getting that additional counseling, then you are exposing and giving yourself the opportunity to gain wisdom for you to get to different places. So I'm just like, the people who always talk about, well, Jesus is my counselor. I'm like, that's great. Let him be that. But how about you go see Miss Stacy too?
Right.
So she can also help you.
I'll be like, Jesus is your healer too. I saw you take aspirin today.
Right.
So which one we picking and choosing?
Right. Okay. So. But those are the ones that really get me, and I think that's
Last
why
I check, it says he gives you the power to get wealth.
Okay.
He gives you the power to do a lot of stuff. It's not just going. People see faith as magic, and that's not how it works. Because without works is dead. Yeah. But I am not finna go here tonight. I'm not doing it. As much as you trying to make me.
I'm not trying to make you do anything, sir.
I'm not doing it. I'm not.
What you feel is compelled on your own. I am not the alpha or the omega. I'm just another light skin trying to make it through the job.
You're right, because you look like a Kappa. That's what you are.
Damn.
He gonna start shimmying.
Hey, he's trying to stop himself from rubbing his hands right now.
Q dogs always trying to.
I'm just playing.
Don't let them see that. They'll come in.
The sad part about that is I had a co-host like that, and we had a great falling out because of that. Because she needed some things, and as a friend, I try to talk to her. I say, you might want to try to, go to counsel. You might need to talk to somebody about how you feeling. And instead of, taking what I'm saying to her as a friend, she took offense to it, and she went straight to that religious point. My Lord is my therapy. I'm like, well, hold on now, because
people perish from a lack of knowledge. Children of the world wiser than his children, because they're not seeking counsel, stuff like that. Just
it's all in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just me. Okay, so
I don't see why people can't marry the two. No one's saying if you go to counseling, you're not a Christian anymore.
Or you don't know the Lord because you decide to go to counseling or therapy. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, and this is something else I've talked to people about. I'm just like, if God is the creator of all things, and we now have an industry of psychology and counseling,
say what I'm thinking.
You don't think that God didn't create this industry because he saw that there was a need for it?
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he didn't equip people with the tools and the insight and the foresight to investigate, research, and study these things, and additionally have proof, physical, tangible proof to show that it works.
And again, you don't say that about anything else. You're not standing outside going, God, where's the manna? You going to a grocery store.
Right. You
don't say that about anything else, but all of a sudden when it comes to your mental health, there's a problem. And if I'm being honest, when you go to therapy and they tell you about like helping yourself block negative thoughts and how to confront issues and confront pain and all of that, like being real, a lot of that's in the Bible. So obviously you didn't read those passages either, and you're not implementing them, or maybe it's not clicking right. And so you just need to hear it a different way from a different source.
They got the new version. It's only like 300 pages.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, the new Bible.
Yeah.
We live in a microwave society. They want everything.
That's them Bibles from them hotels. They got like
right there.
It's got like Psalms, Proverbs, and then the New Testament, and that's it.
Yeah. Miss all the good stuff. We don't know what Joel or none of them did.
They reading out of hotel Bibles.
That's it. Yeah, little pocket Bible. One of those. 256 pages.
Why that sound like mine?
Is that your alarm going off? Did you hit the button in your pocket?
We'll see. Nah, I guess
He said we'll see. No, that one not yours.
I don't see my app yet with me.
Ain't no telling. There's plenty of cars outside. But yeah, so I feel like to wrap all of this up, because this was a good conversation. I like this. I feel like Miss Kryssy should wrap this up with a final thought.
I should wrap it up?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Miss Professional.
Yeah.
I mean, like, in terms of what? Like, the whole thing that we just, well, okay, well, I'll say this.
What do you want to tell the people about the importance of therapy and healing
Well,
and forgiveness? That needs to be the next topic next time.
well, first of all, go to therapy. Okay.
Go.
Like, it's such a valuable, I would say personally, because again, I can only speak from my experience. It's probably one of the best investments I've ever made. You know, in my entire life, right? In terms of like who I was before, who I am today, because I was a hot mess. Okay. And you know, I would say for the people who knew me then, they don't know me now. They don't know me now, so they have to kind of I have to reintroduce myself to them. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say that on the other side of the pain, on the other side of the hurt, on the other side of the disappointment is just so many things that are better. It's so much love. It's so much, you know, kindness. It's so much joy. It's so much happiness. It's so much fulfillment, you know, on the other side of pain, that if you can just make it through the pain, you'll be able to experience the other side of it, the joy of it. And, you know, so I would say that, I guess that's what I would say. Like, you know, go to therapy, you know, find somebody that fits for you, find somebody that speaks your trauma language. You know, and I mean, I would even say, you know, go to like some of those workshops and stuff too, because I did a lot of workshops, like in addition to therapy, like group workshops, you know, while learning different tools,
Girl,
different
you did
resources.
group? You did group?
Yeah, I did group.
I couldn't get into group. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I did. Well, I like, so if full transparency, like I had major depressive disorder. So I was in an outpatient for about 3 months.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was an outpatient for 3 months. So within that, we had group therapy, and they would make us paint.
I ain't finna tell y'all all my business.
Listen,
But
I
feel,
know,
but
like
I feel you. I
yeah,
feel
you know what I'm saying. So I feel like one of the things about trauma, and one of the things about mental health is that, and the reason why the stigma exists is because there's shame attached to the struggle of what you are going through.
Right.
And I feel like
even though most of us going through it, like right now.
Even though most people are going through it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times when I've had conversations and I've shared some of the things publicly that I've experienced, people would inbox me and say, "Oh wow, I didn't know you were going through that. I was too." That.
But you're not
happened to
finna
me."
say it on the post.
Yeah, but you're not gonna
Right.
you're not gonna say it out loud, you know. But I think the reason
I would
why
have inboxed
people,
it too. I wouldn't have said it on the post.
the reason why people are stagnant and
Not
the reason why people won't get help is because there is shame attached to help, and there's no shame in needing help. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
Shouldn't be.
you know, so that's my final thoughts. You know, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to need help. It's okay to seek out help. It's okay to seek out people who are going to support you and love you through your journey. You know, because on the other side of that pain is so many other things that everybody deserves to experience. So
I agree.
On the other side of consistency is success, and that's in everything that you do. You want to be mentally healthy, consistently seek help and go to therapy. Anything that you want to do it consistently and start today. You can figure out how to perfect it later. Start today, get consistent. Study your film, do better. Yeah.
The best basketball player didn't learn by just, faith or hope.
yeah.
Right.
They consecutively went to practice, went to the gym.
You got to put in that work.
Even when other people weren't going, they were going. That's how they became the greats. It takes practice to get to a point of greatness.
Yep. And you attract where you are. So if you really want love, get help, heal.
Ooh, you wanna go there with it?
No,
You wanna go there with it?
Because I'll say the bigger thing, and I'm sure you can say this as someone who's went and gotten healed. When you healed, it's easy to spot
Unhealed.
and to stay away from it.
Well,
You're wondering why, I just want a man that does this, or I just want a woman that does that. They don't want you. I can see from a mile away, you ain't healed. You ain't got emotional regulation. You don't know what boundaries are, how to properly set them, how to respect somebody else's. At the absolute most, I might be friends, maybe acquaintances with you. I'm not keeping you around. Never. For what? I know how you act, how you move, and what your tendencies are. You don't qualify to get inside of these boundaries and to be a partner. You can't be a partner. So if you're steady in those cycles, there are contributing factors to what you are doing to keep you in those cycles. And if you want to break it, go get healed, because healed people can easily spot that shit. And we see the patterns that I've been through before.
So that means y'all can't sleep together yet. You gotta wait. Stay out the bed.
I know who she is. I basically dated her before. Staying away from that. That's what healed people do. Nope. I don't want to go through that again, and you're a pattern. Staying away from that.
I agree with everything you're saying, but I do want to change one word with that.
Bullshit. Nah.
I want to change that word healed, right? I want to change that word healed from healed to healing.
Healing journey. Because you're right.
Because you're never actually all
Or
the way
let's even call it strengthening.
Strengthening, healing, because it's an ongoing process. I don't think you're ever actually done healing. You're just continuously healing and getting better. Now you can be at different levels with it, but you're never actually like, it's never to a point where like you're done. You're healed and that's it. I don't believe that's
right.
So I always want to say healing. Versus
I agree, because if you're stagnant, you're going backwards. If you're going backwards, you're dead. Right. I know someone else said it first, but I know Red Auerbach is always credited with saying that the moment that you feel like you know everything is the moment that you have got the most to learn. So you can't think that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm healed now. I'm fine. I don't need anything else. You just fucked up.
Yeah. Now you're
and you're setting yourself up for your brand new cycle.
Yep.
You need, like you said, you 10 years ago ain't you today. You want new levels, new everything. So maybe you need to go to. Yeah. Exactly. Rip out the plastic. So yeah, you and that's where mentors are important. And I feel like our culture as a whole is sorely lacking them. But that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm on a new level and I'm doing stuff I've never done before, it would be nice if I had a mentor who's been here so they could tell me the pitfalls and everything and what to watch out for mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. Watch out for these things. Safeguard yourself against these things. Do these things. You know, because I feel like having a good mentor is a form of therapy. It doesn't replace actual therapy, but if you had a good mentor, it could make therapy a lot easier. It can make you avoid a lot of stuff.
Exactly. It makes life a lot easier if you can have a mentor. Please, people, pick up mentors.
I'm sorry, weren't we supposed to be handing you the closing argument?
She did her part.
But I just realized we just opened up all this other stuff. My bad. I started talking. My bad.
No, we good. This is all good.
My bad.
And needed information.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Well, I do want to thank my guests for coming out today and giving a compelling a compelling discussion about healing and being on the healing journey. Of course, I always want to thank KJ for showing up and showing out as he always does. I want to thank Ms. Kryssy for giving her opinion and bringing her lighter side to some of me and KJ's discussions. Until next time.
And if y'all want to remember anything, he's the one who said women who had it easier. Neither one of us said that.
We'll bring it up on another show. We'll bring it up on another show. I promise you it will. I'm empty, but until next time, sit down with us, have a drink, and cheers.